So let's very quickly go through the brand new updates for Duel Links coming in November, because we know this one is going to be fairly straightforward, right? Case Cup's happening for 2 weeks, we're getting a Demon rerun because of skill leak, we're probably getting a Go Rush or Seven's character, which would just make sense, right, given last year we had Roa. Let's dive into the updates first of all. Is KC Cup happening for 2 weeks? This one is going to be a bit interesting because we know we're going to be getting the card parts, right, for Chronicle parts in this event, probably going to be the full Starlight, maybe the red and blue names. Just given Duel Links has the whole red and blue theming for PvP opponents, it just kind of makes sense for that to be the case this time round. Fingers crossed they're going to be, you know, plentiful and not too hard to obtain, but still kind of worthwhile. People that do place quite high in the event, that'll be cool. Then of course, Mission Bingo for Tour Guide. Getting Ken Gorgon again is like the second or third time it's card via the event, which is fine, but it's not very exciting. Mid-November, of course, is going to be Dumon's rerun, which we knew about, of course. Starring Knight and the Xyz line cards coming, which are both really good. Talk about them in a minute. And of course, the brand new skill that's basically the same skill got at the moment. But I believe the main difference is it gives double barrel damage to the Chaos number. So if the current skill gets nerfed, you might play this one, but for the moment, the current one does more things to cards that matter. So you'll still play that one. Then of course, the Duel Quest coming with Parallel Panzer again. I think it's like the third or fourth time it's that card in the updates, which is, again, it's just dumb, just stop giving us rerun cards no one cares about. And the interesting thing is, this time around, we're including a special something. A certain character is about to enter the fray. Now, this could be literally anything, right? It could mean, for some reason, Copium, surprise character unlock in the event. Probably doesn't. Probably just means someone's going to show up when Yugi's going down the different floors of the pyramid or whatever. It could be a Tem, right? It could be some cool cutscene thing, we're getting lore stuff on Duel Links canon. It could be we're getting some weird cross-promotion with the earliest collection. Maybe they bring an old opponent from Bit of Memories or Sacred Cards or Rush of Destruction. Would be kind of funky. Like, they won't do it, but that'd be kind of bonkers if they do. So this could be anything. It could be Tour Guide showing up in the pyramid for some reason, which would make even less sense. But the fact they're specifically mentioning it, to me, means it's gotta be a big deal. Because otherwise, like what good is a PNG of a character showing up in an event that's just kind of passive that people do without knowing? Like, it doesn't make that much sense, so maybe this will be something bigger, fingers crossed, but probably not. Now for new card-wise, right, we've got Starring Knight, a generic rank 4 Xyz. Detach 1, special summon the Light from Hand, of course, works very well. With Star Service, you summon to the Scepter, you get the combo off, you get the search off, but the chair, you special summon, you make another rank 4. That's pretty good by itself, right, but also, if this card's in the graveyard except it's sent there, you can target a full fairy control, summon this card, attach it to it. So it just keeps coming back, and gives you a starter for your turn when you might need it, which is really, really cool. So I think this honestly play in Star Service 100% right, it just feels right, and I believe this is technically support for Starry Night as well. It is, okay, very, very cool. Then Xyz line is a level modulation spell card that can do not only your cards, your opponents as well, meaning if you're facing against an Xyz deck or, say, a Synchro deck, you can mess up their combo lines, which will be really cool. It does lock you into summoning monster next day with the same type as the monster you targeted, so that won't be that relevant, because most of the time, your extra cards, right, are going to be the same type as the one you're kind of targeting. So I feel like this might be a nice little side deck card, right, for tournaments, right? If you know you're going against birds, you can target one of your opponent's level 1s and make it like level 12 and completely shut down the combo. So this kind of thing is going to be really, really underrated, which is cool to see. Then we've got late November, a new duel is obtainable. In that case, defeat me if you can. Now this one is a classic. The quote doesn't exist in English because of the Gorosh character, and so we are getting ZUWIJO in Duel Links. This is the Japanese quote, and he uses a Dark Galaxy deck. Now this will probably be his Ace-5 Void VELGEAR Requiem. It is kind of like Seven's Rodin that gains tag points, right? Gains 300 for Dark in the field, so by itself becomes 28, and then if it has Land Monster on the field, gains 600, so it becomes 3,400, which is not too bad, right? And given that in Rush Duel right now, if you go and search by light, literally every deck in the metagame is going to be light, right? You've got Psychics, you've got your Social Warriors, you've got your Metarion, Cyber Dragon, Cyburst, Light Galaxy, Raw Lights, and so it's a really, really good card into the current metagame matchup-wise, right? And so I think it's a good thing he comes first before Manabu does, or Maddox I think it is in the dub, right? A bit weird, because we kind of would have thought they would have saved this character for, say, January for a big hype unlock, but no. he's coming early. Now, in terms of his deck, right, it is like, he has literally like, probably the closest thing you can get to an archetype in Rush Duel, in that there's so many Void VELGEAR cards, and the big thing is they also work with Dark Hole. And so does that mean, on release we're getting Dark Hole? Probably not, because this card is a straight up buff of Troop to Doomed, at least in Duel Links. There is no downside to you, really, because your opponent's going to be killing your entire board in one go, and so unless it was limited on release, I don't see this coming. And of course, the big thing is, these are fusion support, and in terms of Go Rush, right, we are very clearly going to be in Season 1, and these don't come around until, say, Season 2, and so we're going to have to wait a while for fusion support. So I don't think this will come. It'd be cool, but also be really, really toxic, and this card will reward the metagame entirely, right? If you thought already the Rush Duels were kind of bullshit, and you can be killed too easily, this card would change that, right? Already seeing one Troop to Doomed feels really bad, seeing a whole board wipe would be even worse, and so overall, a pretty decent month, right? Like, in terms of what a KC Cup month can be. We're getting a brand new Gosh character, we have a potentially big thing coming in the Duel Quest, we don't know. Fingers crossed it's something big, but probably going to be a very small thing, but if it's some lore dump, if it is going to be a new character we might be getting over time, that could be cool. If it's Mycopium of Reshef coming, or one of the OG Forbidden Memories characters, like, that'd be cool as well, but probably not. That one's just like completely out there. But yeah, like, there is reason to be excited this month, but I feel like that just in usual KC Cup months aren't that exciting, but this one, it does feel pretty good. December is where things are going to be interesting, because we're kind of expecting Goha Rush Festival to be coming again, assuming they haven't canned it, which they might have done, right? They might just think, you know what, for Rush Duel Worlds, we'll do one qualifier end of the year, and that'd be fine. Last year, and every year before that, was a speed mini box happening on like December 6th-ish, around then, so could be the same thing again. Arc 5 level cap, because last year was Exel, year before Stars Dimensions, and so that alongside a rerun for Lulu and Rin would be neat, and of course a brand new box on New Year's Day. So I guess ZUWIJO is probably going to be our final character for Duel Links for 2024, which is kind of a fitting way to go out, I think. That's pretty cool, and this probably isn't going to be all of it for Speed Duel, right? Because we saw last year, I believe, was a deck build box in mid-November, right before Robo's event happened, and so I assume after KC Cup, the same happens again, kind of like we just got a Rush Duel, right, for the Warriors. We'll get something for some random speed deck type that hopefully will be as good as the first one was last year. So, fingers crossed. Anyway, that is my rambling done. Leave your thoughts down below, see you next one's video, and adios.